Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you all for registering for this webinar. So for those of you who have already attended some of my previous webinar, should already know me by now. So I'm the presenter for today. My name is Wei Jie, right? And then the topic that we'll be covering today will be on how to create 3D house from a 2D floor plan using GstarCAD. All right. So before that, let me just run through a bit of information of my company and the product that we're using later on. Okay, so over here you can see some of history of ACAD, which is my company. And in fact, ACAD has been in the CAD/CAM industry since 2009. And then we mostly specialize in selling software solutions as well as trainings for most of the product that we carry. And then on the next slide, you can see some of the products that we carry. And then you can see for 2D CAD tools, we have AutoCAD, we have GstarCAD, and then 3D design software, we have SketchUp, 3ds Max, and then we have Autodesk 3D software as well. And then for rendering tool, we have V-Ray and Lumion. And then some other supporting software and hardwares like printers and PC, we also sell as well. Okay, and then this is some of the background of GstarCAD, right? So GstarCAD has been in the market for more than 27 years already, and it's not new in Singapore as well. And then in the next slide here, you can see the release so-called timeline for the software itself. So you can see since 2010 all the way to 2020, basically every year there is a major release for the product that includes some important feature upgrades in it. And then over here, you can see a few different versions of GstarCAD. So there are actually 4 versions. There is a GstarCAD Standard, which is mostly for users that is comfortable with just 2D features. And then those who want to explore more on a bit of 3D stuff, they need to go for the GstarCAD Professional, right, with the added 3D features. And then we have mechanical and architectural for GstarCAD as well. So those who are doing mostly mechanical drawings or architectural drawings, right, they can buy these two specialized tools that includes libraries, right? So the libraries will come with added parts like nuts, screws, etc. And then for architecture, maybe there are some architecture library that you can just pull and drop it into your drawing and use it, which is quite easy, right? And then for license type, we have standalone and network. Okay, so it depends on how your organization works, right? You can choose the proper license type when you purchase it. Okay, and then over here you can see some of our customer that is already using GstarCAD. So some of the more prominent one will be SMRT, SD Engineering, A-Star, and some major construction companies as well. Okay, so let me now jump straight to the software and show you how it's done. Okay, first and foremost, can all of you hear my voice? Okay, great. Okay, so over here you can see a drawing of a 3D house that is already completed. Okay, so it includes a roof, and then there's walls, windows, doors, and then there's a small balcony over here as well. And then if you turn to the back, there are some other things like doors and windows as well. Okay, so this will be the 3D house that I'll be showing you how to create. And then we'll be creating the house just from this 2D floor plan over here. Okay, so I'll run you through the workflow, everything from start to finish. Okay, Okay, now to actually utilize this 2D floor plan, first thing we have to open up the layer properties, and then we have to turn off the layers that we don't need. So example, I just want to focus on how to create the 3D walls, right? I will turn off the windows and all the unnecessary layers, okay? And then I will be just left with the walls, the outlines for the walls on my drawings. Okay, so in order to create the walls, right, over here you can see I will have an outer wall and then I will have inner wall as well. Okay, so in order to create the walls, I need to make sure that it forms an enclosed region. Okay, once it becomes an enclosed region, I can then create the 3D solid walls from that, right? So in order to do that, I need to go to my drawing command and look for the line command, and then I have to close it over here. So I need to put one line here, one line over here, and then one line over here, and then one line over here as well, and then one line over here. Okay, so once I've created the lines to close the outer wall, I need to join them to form one single polyline. So I can use the command called join, and then I will have to join all the lines over here. So I'm going to manually select all the lines like this. Okay, so once I've selected the outer walls already, I'll just press, okay, I selected one. Okay, and then I press enter. And then when I hover my mouse over here, you can see it forms one single polyline. So this will be my outer wall. Okay, and then I'm going to do the join command again, and then I'll be joining the bottom side outer walls. Okay, select the lines one by one. Okay, so now it forms a single polyline over here as well. So now I'm going to move my focus to the inner wall. So I'm going to go to my line command again. I'm going to create a closed region. Okay, over here. And then the bottom side as well. Close it. Close it. And then I'm going to go for my join command. And then I'm select this line here. Join. And then join this as well. Over here. Here. And the last one. Okay, so now if I'm going to hover on these inner walls, you can see they form one single enclosed region. Okay, so now we are ready to create the walls. So I'm going to change my view to isometric view. Okay, and then I'm going to change my layer to 3D solid. So all the 3D solids that I'll be creating, no matter whether it's for the walls or the windows, I'll be drawing on this layer. Okay, so in order to give the create a wall, I will have to go to my 3D tab at the top and then choose the extrude command. And then they'll ask me what are the stuff that I want to extrude. So I'll just select all the outer wall and inner wall and then press enter. And then you can see I can drag out the walls. So this document is being set to documents with unit meters. So whatever we are drawing inside these documents is measured in meters. Okay, so I will just type in 3-meter height for my wall. Okay, and then you can see this is the 3-meter wall height that will be created for us. Okay, and then let's say now you have this view over here, you want to change to some other 3D view, you can do that under the 3 tab. There's this visual style. So I will change it to visual style hidden lines. Okay, so you can actually see the walls a bit better. Okay, and then you can see some opening at the outer wall and the inner wall. Is because the opening is meant for creating the doors. Okay, so the first thing that I'll be showing you how to do is I need to create the the parapet, the walls that is on top of the door. So close it at the top of the door. So over here, I will use the rectangle tool to draw the shape that I want. Over here, one rectangle here, one here. Okay, one rectangle here, then another one here, here, then the last one over here. Okay, so once I'm done, I can, I like up one here. Okay, so once I'm done, I can go to the extrude command, and then I'm going to select all the 5 rectangles that I've created on top of the walls here. And then after that, press enter. And then I'm going to give a height of 1 meter. All right, so I give a negative sign is because the z-axis is pointing upwards. So if I'm going to extrude downwards, right, I need to give a negative sign, right? So I'll just put in -1. Okay, so you can see the walls over here created. Okay, but then this solid over here and the outer wall here are not connected, right? So let's say I'm going to join all the solids to form one single solid. I can go to this union button, and then I'm going to select the outer wall here, including the solid over here. After that, press enter, and then you can see all will be joined to form one single solid. Okay, same for the inner wall. I will go for my union command, select the walls and the solid. Oops. Okay, like this, this. Okay, so it's done here, and then here, here, and here. Okay, so I've joined my inner walls and my outer walls to form one single solid already. So the next thing that I'll be doing is actually to create the floor, right? So I'll change the view to shaded view. So you can see I have my outer walls and my inner walls already created, and then with the opening for my doors as well. Okay, so now I need to have a flooring for the walls. So before I do that, I need to create the shape of the flooring that I want. So I will be going to this polyline command, and then I'm going to capture the outer edges of my walls. Okay. Okay, so once I'm done, I press enter. And then now, in order to create the flooring, I can go to my extrude command and then select the bottom line, enter. Okay, so my flooring will be extruding downwards. So I need to include a negative sign. And then the thickness of the flooring is 0.2 meter. So I'll just put in 0.2, enter. And then you'll see this is your flooring. The thing that I'm selecting is my flooring. Okay, so now the next focus will be to create the windows for my 3D house. So in order to do that, first thing I will need to hide all my outer walls and my inner walls. So I will go to my status bar, right? There is this isolate object button. Click on that, and then over here you can select hide objects. And then I'm going to hide my inner walls and my outer walls. Okay, and then I need to go to my layer properties and then turn on the windows. Okay, so you can see the shape of my windows on the floor, right? So over here, I will actually use the rectangle tool to sketch out the shape of my window. So before I can do that, I need to readjust my coordinate system. You can see the bottom left corner, the coordinate system is not correct. So you will not be able to draw properly. So I will change my coordinate system over here from world coordinate to right. So now you can see the coordinate system at the bottom left has been changed to X and Y. Okay, so I can now use the rectangle tool to draw the shape that I want. So I'll just click here, and then you can see the shape of a rectangle. So I'll go over here and then go up. So what is the height of the rectangle that I want? I want it to be 1 meter. So I'll just type in 1 and then enter. And then I'll have a rectangle that is 1 meter tall. Okay, now I will move the window, the outline of my window. Okay, I move it 1 meter from the base. Okay, so the height of this window is 1 meter away from the floor. Okay, and then I can copy this outline of my windows, then just copy it to the other region. Okay, and then I'm going to rotate my view here. And then in order to draw the rectangle shape over here for my window, I need to change the coordinate system to back. And then I will use the rectangle tool, click, and then 1 meter for the height. And then move the rectangle up by 1 meter. And then I will copy this over to the other side. Okay, so these are my outline of my windows. And then at the other side, there is another small windows that is meant for my washroom, right? So I'm going to use the rectangle tool, and then I'll draw a rectangle here. Okay, so the height for this small rectangle will be 0.6 meter. And then I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it 1.8 meter from the floor. Okay. So I'm done with creating the outline of my windows. Now I will end my object isolation by clicking on this button to bring back all my hidden walls. Okay, so you can see the walls, right? We have the outline of the windows sketch on that already, right? So the next thing, we will need to create the opening for the windows. Okay, so in order to do that, we have to use the extrude command. Okay, select the two rectangle here, and then I'm going to extrude these two, and then going to extrude these two as well. Okay, and then over here we have another one. And then the last one over here. Okay, so once I'm done with extruding the windows, I can now do a subtraction to create the opening, right? So I'll go to subtract, select the outer wall, enter, and then select all the solids over here. And then press enter. Okay, so now you have the opening for your windows created over here. Okay, so after you have the opening, you have to create the shape of the window over here inside the opening. Right, so now I will change my view to front, and then I need to sketch out the outline of my small window here. So I go to rectangle, I'm going to create one rectangle here. Okay, and then over here, I will change my coordinate system from front to right, and then rectangle to sketch out one rectangle over here as well. Okay. Okay, so once I'm done, I will go to hide object and hide all my walls again. Okay, and then now I will focus on how to create the windows. Okay, so this is the outline of my window. In fact, I need to create one small window and one big window. This is the bigger one, right? So the first thing I will do an offset of 0.05. Okay, and then I'll draw a middle line from midpoint down to the bottom midpoint, and then I'll offset again, and then I'll type in 0.025 meter, and then offset the middle line here to the right and to the left. After that, I will delete away the middle line, and then I will trim away the unnecessary lines here, and then I have the shape of my windows over here. Okay, and then over here you can see the square over here, right? The window, you can see the lines is not joined together. Okay, so I will use the join command to join the lines together. Okay, so now it's joined together. Same for the other side. Join this and this. So now this is joined as well. Okay, after that, I'm ready to create the 3D solid for my window. So I'll go to the extrude command and then select the outer lines of the window, press enter, and then they'll ask me what's the thickness of the window that I want to create. So I want to create a 0.5 meter window. So I'll just type in 0.5. Okay, done. Okay, after I create the 0.5 thickness for my windows, the next I need to create the opening for my glass panel for the window. Okay, so I need to go to the extrude command, select the rectangle over here that I draw on the block, press enter, and then just create somewhere over here. Okay, after that, subtract, select the solid here, press enter, and then select the other two solid at the back, and then press enter. Okay, and then now you have the opening over here that we'll be creating the glass panel for the window. Okay, so over here I will go to my rectangle tool, and then I'll draw a rectangle over here, and then I will extrude the rectangle. Okay, and then what is the thickness of the glass panel that I want? I want it to be 0.3 meter, so I'll just type in 0.3 and then press enter, and then you can see this is the size of the window that I'm creating. So I will change the color of this glass panel from white to green, and then the transparency to 70%. Okay, after that I'll move the glass panel here. Okay, so I'm trying to select the midpoint of my glass panel, and then I'm going to snap to the midpoint of the solid here. Okay, so once I'm done, I will copy this block here to the other side of the window. Okay, so I'm done for this big window, and then now I need to duplicate this window to the rest of the area. So I will just do a copy. Okay, and then the snap point I'll be selecting here, and then I'll put one over here, and then one over here. And then I need another one somewhere here, but I'm going to put it here somewhere. Okay, so this window here, I need to rotate it by an angle of 90 so that I can fit it onto the other side of the wall. So before I rotate, I need to change the coordinate system to top. And then I'm going to go for the rotate command. Select the window here, press enter. I will select the center point of the window and then type in rotation angle 90. Okay, so once I rotated by angle of 90, I can now move this window from here to here, and then from the base of a height of 1 meter. Okay, and then I need to copy another time to this area. Okay, so I'm done for the big window. Now I will shift my focus to the smaller window. Okay, so for the smaller window, I'll zoom in. Okay, so before creating the window, right, I need to do an offset of the rectangle over here. So I'll just go to offset, and then offset distance is 0.03 meter. Enter, and then need to draw a line from middle point here to the middle point at the bottom, and then offset again. Then type in 0.015 to the right and to the left. And then delete away the center line, trim. Okay, so I'll be trimming here. Oops. Let me do again. Okay, offset by 0.03. The middle line. Offset again, 0.015. Here to the right and from here to the left. And then delete this line. Okay, after that, I'll trim away the unnecessary lines. Okay, doesn't matter. I will just manually join the lines myself. Okay, so after that, I'll be using the join command to join all the lines together. Okay, so the lines are joined together. Same over here, join the lines together. Okay, so after join the lines together, I can use the extrude command. Select the outer lines of the window and then enter. And then the thickness of the window will be 0.5. Okay. Okay, after that, I need to create the opening for the glass panel of the window. So I'll go to extrude again, select the rectangle profile, enter, extrude to the back. And then after that, do a subtraction. Select this solid here, press enter, and then select the two solid at the back. Okay, so now we have the opening where we can create the glass panel for the small window. So the glass panel, the method that I'll be using will be a bit different from the previous one. So first thing, I need to change the view to left for my coordinate system. And then I will go to my rectangle command. I will choose this point here for the first point. And then now you can see I'm actually creating a rectangle. And then second point, I will go to the midpoint here and then go up. And then they'll ask me what is the height of the rectangle that I want to create. that will be 0.03 meter. Okay, and then I have the rectangle created over here. Okay, next I will do a rotate of this rectangle by 20 degree. Okay, and then after that I need to move the rectangle inside the window. So I'm going to click on the window. Sorry, click on the rectangle, select the snap point here, and then move the rectangle inside the window. Okay, so now it's totally within that window, and then now we can create the glass panel by using the extrude command. Okay, select this, enter, and then I will go to this. You can see I'm actually snapping to this endpoint of the window. You can see, right? So I just press enter here. Oops, sorry. Okay, I'll do it again. So select here, and then I'm going to snap to this point here. And then here you go. You have the window created, the glass panel. Okay, next I need to move this glass panel a bit higher. Okay, so I go to my move command, select the glass panel, select this point here, and then move up. Move up by 0.015. Okay, let me try again. It seems like it's not moving. Okay, so I'll go to move command, select the glass panel, select this point, and then move up, and then type in 0.015. Okay, so now you can see the glass panel has been moved up by 0.015 meter. And next, I'm going to select this solid here. Going to change it to green color, and then the transparency to 70%. And then I need a few glass panel over here within this window. So I'm going to use the rectangular array to do that. So select the solid here, press enter, and then number of columns will be 1, and the number of rows will be 5. And then the distance between the rows will be 0.1 meter. After that, I'll close the array, and then I will have the glass panel created like this. Okay, so after that, I'll just copy everything here and then bring it to the left side. Okay, so that's all for my windows. And then now I can turn off the layer for my windows. And then I'm going to focus on creating of the door now. So I'm going to turn on the door layer. And then I will end the object isolation so that you can see the windows on the walls. Okay, so now we need to create 2 doors. One is a bigger door, one is a smaller door, right? So the first one, the big door here, okay, I need to change my view to right, and then I will go to my rectangle tool. I'm going to sketch out the shape of my door. So I'm going to capture this endpoint here all the way to the bottom endpoint here. Okay, so that's my size of my door for the bigger one. And then for the smaller one, I'll go to the back, and then I'll use the rectangle tool, and then I'll sketch out the shape of the door. Okay, after that, I will need to hide the walls again. So I'm going to hide all the outer walls, the inner walls, as well as the windows that I've created just now. So I'm going to window select everything here. Press enter. Okay, and then I have the outline of my doors, right? Okay, so now I'm going to focus on creating the smaller door first. Okay, now if you want to draw on the same plane as the door, right, we need to reassign the UCS icon, which is the coordinate system, right? So in order to realign the coordinate system, you can actually go to the View tab, and then you can click on UCS over here, and then I'm going to place my UCS over here at this point, and then the X direction will be pointing here, and then Y direction will be pointing upwards. Okay, so you can see the X will be pointing to right, and then the Y is pointing upwards. Okay, so that is the plane or the surface that I'll be drawing on. Okay, now I'll zoom into the door. Okay, first thing I will need to draw two rectangles. Okay, one rectangle will be size of 0.6 meter by 0.9 meter. And then another rectangle will be 0.6 meter by 0.4. Now I'll move the rectangle using the midpoint over here, and then reference from this midpoint downwards, and then a gap of 0.2 meter. Okay, and then move this rectangle as well using the midpoint. From here, I want to be 0.3 meter away. Okay, and then you have the shape over here. Okay, I think I'm going to hide away the outline of the big door because it's blocking my view. So I'm going to hide this as well. Okay. Okay, after that, I will need to draw some lines. So I'll go to my line command. I'm going to draw a line to divide the rectangle over here, and then a line to divide the rectangle here as well. And then another line here. From the corner, I want it to be 0.3 meter away. And then I'll draw one line here. And then 0.3 meter away from this point. And then draw a line here. Okay. And then I'll draw a line here, 0.15 meter away, and then draw one line. 0.15 meter away, and then I'm going to draw one line here. Okay, after that, I'll do an offset. Okay, offset distance, I will set it to okay, before I do an offset, I will need to create the boundary. Okay, so at this moment, I haven't have a boundary for my small rectangle, sorry, the small square, right? So I will go to my boundary command to create a region that I need to use to create the windows. So after that, I'll click on this region here. So total will be 10 regions. After that, press enter. So now when you hover your mouse over here, right, you can see the region is already created for you. Okay, same for the bottom side using the boundary command. Okay, after that, I will use the offset command. Offset distance of 0.02 meter, and then I will offset here, 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 and here. Okay, offset again. Then this time it will be 0.03 meter, and then offset from here, 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 and here. Okay. Okay, before we create the solids for the doors, I need to create another two rectangle. One rectangle over here, and then another rectangle will be over here. Okay, now we can create the solids for the door. Can go to the extrude command, select the outer rectangle for the shape of the door, and then press enter. And then the thickness of the door, I want it to be 0.3 meter. So I'll just type in minus 0.3. Okay, and then there you go. So now after that, we have to create the opening for the glass panel. So sometimes it's quite hard to see the shape of the outlines that's being drawn on the solid. So what we can do, we can change the visual style to hidden. Okay, and then now we can click on the extrude command, select the outer rectangle for the top and the bottom. After that, press enter, and then just extrude to the back side over here. After that, we can do a subtraction, select the door, and then select the two solid. After that, go back to the shaded visual style, and then you can see the opening like this for the door. Okay, next I will need to draw another two rectangle. So one rectangle over here, and then another rectangle over here. Okay, now I'll focus on the creation of the solid over at this region. So I'm going to go for the extrude command here, select the rectangle that I've just drawn, press enter, and then what is the thickness of this solid? I will type in minus 0.26 meter. Okay, and then after that, I will go to move, select this solid here, and then press enter, and then try to capture the middle point of the solid. So you can see I'm able to snap to the solid center point here. Click, and then I will do a snap override, and then go to midpoint, and then I'll move my solid here, and then snap to the midpoint. Right. So you can see there's actually a gap of 0.2 meter away from the solid over here. Okay, after you're done, you can click on the extrude command again, select the 4 rectangle here, and then I'm going to extrude by minus 3 meters. Oh, sorry, it's not minus 3. It's minus 0.3 meters. Okay, and then you have the shape over here like this. Okay. Okay, now for the top side of the door, I'm going to do extrude as well. Click on the rectangle here, and then I'm going to type in minus 0.2 meter. And then I'm going to move it, snap the midpoint over here, and then do a snap override, midpoint, and then I'm going to go for the midpoint here. Okay, so it snapped to a midpoint over there. Okay, now I'm going to create the opening for my glass panel. So I'm going to go to extrude, select the 6 smaller rectangle here, extrude it all the way to the back, and then do a subtraction. Just select all the solids here, and press enter, and then you have the opening like this. Okay, so now we can draw out the shape of the glass panel. So I'll go for the rectangle tool, draw a rectangle on one of the opening, and then extrude it. A thickness of -0.1 meter, and then select this solid here and change the color to blue, and then the transparency to 70%. Okay, after that I need to move the glass panel here, which is the 3D solid, snap to the midpoint here, and then snap it to the midpoint of the block. Okay, so after that I'll do a copy of this solid here to the rest of the opening. Okay. Okay, last but not least, we need to create a union of all the solids other than the blue color block, which is the glass, right? So I will go to the union command, select this block here, and then select this block here, and then also the bottom side here. So now it forms one single solid other than the blue color glass panel. Okay. Okay, now we will copy the door to the rest of the region. So one here, and I put one here. Okay, now you can see that this door, the rotation is not at the right angle. So I will do some rotation. So first thing, I'm going to change the coordinate system to top. And then I will use the rotate command. Select the door here. Select the midpoint and then type in 90 for the rotation angle. And then now I can move this block over here. And then I'll copy this block over to this block, this area here. Okay. So I'm done for the small door. So now I'm going to focus on the bigger one. Okay. So I'm going to end the object isolation so that I can see how my door look like at this moment. Right. So now I'm going to focus on the creation of my big door. Right. So I'm going to hide the walls again, hide the outer walls and the inner walls, and then also the windows. Okay, the doors I need to hide it as well. Okay. Okay, now in order to draw on the same surface as the outline of this bigger door, I need to realign the coordinate system by clicking on the UCS command, and then I'll put the UCS over here. The X direction, I'll be pointing to this direction, and then Y will be pointing upwards. Okay, so you have the UCS coordinate system created over here. Okay, now we can start to draw the shape that we want. So I'm going to start with a line tool directly in the middle, all the way to the bottom of the rectangle. Okay, after that, I need to draw a rectangle. Okay, a size of 0.375 by 0.375. And then I'll move the rectangle. And then I'll reference this point to the bottom here. And then go up. From this point here, go up. That will be 0.175. And then I'll move again. Move it to the right by 0.1. Okay, and then you have a rectangle that is 0.1 meter from the left of the line, 0.1 to the right, and then 0.175 from the bottom of the flooring. Okay, now we can use the rectangular array. Select the square over here, and then number of columns will be 2, and then number of rows will be 4. And then the distance between the column and row will be 0.425. And then I will close the array. Okay, so I have the door created, the shape. Okay, now I will need to create the handle and the keyhole for my door. Okay, so I'm going to use the rectangle tool to draw the shape. So the size will be 0.05 by 0.15. Okay, and then I'm going to move this rectangle using this as a reference point to the right by 0.025. Okay, and then I'll draw a circle from the top over here, a distance of 0.00 from 0.5, and then a radius will be 0.03, 0.01. Okay. Okay, now I will draw a line from the top quadrant here to the left by 0.1 meter. Same for the bottom. And then I'm going to trim. And then this will be the shape of the handle of the door. Okay, last will be the keyhole on the door. So I'm going to use the circle command. Distance of 0.03 meters. And then the radius will be 0.005 meter. Okay, now I'm going to go for the line command. From here downwards will be 0.01 meter. And then to the right, 0.002 meter. And then I'll join the line to the top. Okay, after that, I'll do a mirror of the line. Okay, and then I'm going to trim away the lines that I don't want. Okay, so this will be my keyhole. And then I need to join all the lines together for this keyhole. So I'm going to use the command polyline edit. Select the circular line here. Yes. Join. And then select all the lines here. Enter. And then now the line should be converted into a single polyline. Okay. Okay, now we have already drafted out all the shapes that we want for the door. We can now do a mirror of all the objects over here. And then select here, and then select here. Okay, done. Okay, after that, we will explode the array. Okay, I'll go to explode command, explode the array. Okay, after exploding the array, we are ready to draw the shape of the door. Okay, before that, let me do some simple amendment to the shape of the door handle here. So I'm going to do a fillet of a radius of 0.01 meter. And then I'm going to fill it here, 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 and here. Same for the other side. Okay, after I'm done, I can create the shape of the door. So first thing, I will go to my extrude command, select the outline of the door, enter, and then the thickness of the door will be minus 0.3. Okay, so we have the thickness of the door created like this. Then the next thing we need to do is we need to create the opening for the glass panel for the door. So I'm going to go to the extrude command, select all the rectangle here. So total there will be 16 of them. Okay, so after I'm done with the extruding, I will need to use the subtract tool to create the void. Okay, so now you have the void, the hole over here. So now we'll focus on how to create the glass panel for the opening. So first thing we have to go to the rectangle tool to draw the shape over here. And then we'll go to extrude, select the rectangle. And then the thickness of the glass panel, I want it to be 0.1. So I'll type in minus 0.1 meter. And then select the glass panel. Change it to blue color, and then the transparency will be 70%. Yeah, after that, I'll move it. Snap to the midpoint here, and snap to the midpoint over here. Okay, now I will do a copy of this glass panel. Okay, done. Okay, now the only thing left over will be the shape, the 3D solid shape of the handle. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to hide all the solid away. So I'll go to the hide object, and then I will hide basically everything here, and then everything here, everything here. Okay, just the handle alone. So let me tilt the angle a bit. Okay, now in order to draw the shape of the handle, right, the first thing I will have to draw out the shape of the handle that I want. So the shape I'll be using circle. So I'm going to draw a circle here. Okay, that's the shape of my handle. And then I need to tell what is the bending angle of the handle that I want. In fact, the handle I'll be creating using the sweep command. All right, so I'll be using the sweep command to do that. So in order to do that, we need to know where is the sweeping direction. Okay, so now I'm going to use the line command to draw out the sweeping direction. So I'm going to sweep from here to the center point of this circle, and then go, oh, this is not correct. Okay, I need to readjust the UCS coordinate system. So I go to my UCS command, and then I'm going to put my UCS over here. X will be pointing to the left, and then Y will be pointing to the top direction. Okay, so after that, I'm going to use the line command We'll select here all the way to a center point and then move downwards. So you can see the green color tracking line is actually tracking the y-axis. So along the y-axis, I want the line to be 0.08 meter long. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to move the line. And then snap it over here. Okay, so the two lines that I'm drawing is actually the sweeping direction of the handle. Okay, so in order to do that, in order to finish everything up, I will do a fillet here with an angle of 0.03 meter for these two lines. Okay, so I fillet this part of the line, and then I'm going to use the polyline edit to join the lines together. Okay, so now it's a polyline. Okay, so once you have already combined all the lines to form one single polyline, we are now able to use the sweep command to finish up the handle. Right, so I will go to my 3D tab and then look for the sweep command. Okay, now if you take a look at the command bar at the bottom left, you can see it's asking us to select the object you want to sweep. So the object that we want to sweep is actually the circle. And then press enter. And then now they will ask us to select the sweep path. The path will be the polyline over here that we have drawn. So once you select this, you will have the handle created over here. Okay. Okay, now I will go to my extrude command, select the keyhole, and then I'll extrude it somewhere here. And then I'm going to extrude this, the base of my handle. Enter, and then the thickness will be 0.02. Okay, so to finish up, I will do a subtraction. Select this base here, and then enter, and then select the keyhole. Okay, and then you have the shape over here like this. Okay, now I will end my object isolation. Okay, now I need to mirror the handle and the base and the keyhole over to the other side of the door, right? So I can use the 3D mirror command. Select the 3D mirror command, and then select the handle and the base, and then press enter, and then mirror along the YZ axis, YZ plane. Okay, enter, and then I'm going to select the center point to be over here. And then whether delete source object, no. And then now you have the handle created over here and the keyhole as well. Okay, and then to finish off, I will need to create a union of the door. So I'll select the union for the door, including the handle and the base over here. Okay, enter. So now it forms one single solid for my big door here. Okay, so I'm almost there. So now just left with creating the balcony and the roof. Okay, so for the balcony, I'm going to change my coordinate system to the top. Sorry, change to the bottom. And then I will use the rectangle command to capture here. And then the size of the rectangle will be 0.2 meter by 0.2. And then I'm going to copy this shape over here. And then another one reference from this point here away will be 3.2 meter away. So you have another one over here. Okay, now I need to copy again, select this, and then put one here, and then put one here. Okay, so I have created 5 small square on the balcony area. This is meant for me to create the pillars for my balcony, right? So now I'm going to do the extruding of this profile. Select the 5 square, enter, and then the height is minus 1.2 meter. Okay, so I have a pillar height of 1.2 meter for my balcony, and then now I need to draw out the bar that is connecting all the pillars. So in order to do that, I have to change my coordinate system to right. Okay, and then after that, I will go to my circle command. Okay, I'm going to capture the midpoint here, go up a distance of 0.15, and then the size of the radius will be 0.03. Okay, and then after that, I'll do an offset of 0.1 meter from this line to the inside. And then I'm going to break this line using the break command. Select the line here and then break it at this point here. After that, you can see there will be a line here. I'm going to select this line and then delete away. And then I'm going to join this line back to the midpoint here. Okay, after that, move the line, select the line, and then move it to the center point of the circle here. Okay, so now I'm going to use the sweep command to create the bar for my pillars for the balcony. So over here, I have the profile already. I have the sweep path. So I will just go straight to the command, sweep, select the profile, enter, select the sweep path, and then you have the bar created for that is connecting all the 5 pillars. Okay, after that, you can go to the rectangular array, select the bar, and then number of columns will be 1, and then number of rows will be 10. And then the distance between the bar will be 0.1 meter. After that, close the array. Okay, and then I'm done. Okay, after that, explode it. Okay, so now it appears as a single bar on the balcony. Okay, now the last one will be the roof, right? So the roof, we have to draw out the shape that we want for the roof. So I'm going to change the coordinate system to top, and then change the view as well to top. Okay, now it's not very visible, so I'll be changing the visual style to hidden. Right, so you can see the outline of my floor plan. So I'm going to draw a rectangle over here. Okay, one rectangle, and then I'm going to draw another rectangle over this side. The size will be 0.5. Okay. Okay, so 0.5. After that, move it. Move the rectangle. Get the midpoint, and then snap to the midpoint over here. Okay, and then now I can move the rectangle here. Move the rectangle to a height of 6 meters from the base of the floor. Okay, and then you can see there is a rectangle that's 6 meters away from the floor. Okay, now to finish up the roof, right, I can select the loft command, select this rectangle, the outer one. Okay, I think I need to draw one more rectangle. So let me draw it. Rectangle 2. So I'm going to draw one here all the way to here. Okay, to that I'm going to go for my loft command. Select the rectangle here, and then select the rectangle at top. Okay, after that press enter. And then you have the roof created. So I'm go back to my shaded view, and then you have the view like this. Okay, so to do the touching up of the materials of the different surfaces, we can actually open up the material panel. So once you click on materials, you have default materials created already. So I'm going to create 4 materials here, one for my walls, one for my flooring, one for my roof, and one for my balcony. Okay, and then the color of my walls, I will change it to this color, and then the floor, I will change it to black. Then the roof, I will change it to maybe this color. And then balcony, I'll change it to this color. Okay, now I will assign the color to my walls. So I just need to select walls here. And then there's a button here, apply materials to objects. So just click on that and then just select the walls. Same thing for the floor. Same thing for the roof. And then for the balcony. Okay, for the balcony, I need to select the bar first. And then I'm going to double click on the balcony materials to assign the colors. Okay, and then let's not forget about the inner wall. So I'm going to hide the roof, and then I will need to assign the materials to the inner wall as well. So I'm going to click on, so I'm going to select the 2 walls here. Okay, to assign the color to it. After that, I will end my object isolation. And I've now completed my 3D house from the 2D floor plan. Okay, so I'm done with my presentation. Is there any questions? Any questions from anyone? You can either type inside the chat log or you can unmute yourself and then you can converse directly with me. Okay, so if you have no questions, then I will finish the webinar. Okay, this is our contact information. So let's say if you have any questions in the future regarding GstarCAD, you can contact us using the mobile number here, or you can email to us. Okay, so that's all for today's webinar. Thank you for attending. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next webinar. Okay, bye.